what if, I mean, think about this. What if your resume, your cover letter, your letters of reference, all the things that you've done academically and athletically, all the great things you've done in your real life are starting to have less influence than everything you've posted online? All your tweets, all your Instagram, Vine videos, comments, all of your texts, iMessage that you think are private. See, that's what today's all about. Today's all about the new normal world. And the new normal world is that you and I are being evaluated more on our online social media content than things that we do in the real world. What today's all about is recognizing that you guys are already here and technology is a part of your life. And rather than getting rid of this, why don't we get really good at it? In other words, why don't we embrace all the benefits that social media can give us, all of the opportunities, all of the influence it can bring to our lives in a positive way, and minimize all of our risk. And what we're here today to do is to learn how to do social right. Still have a blast online, still have a lot of fun online with our social media content, but learn what drives influence and learn to get an edge when competition is really fierce for jobs. Scholarships, placements on elite sports teams, placements in co-ops and internships as well. So we want to get away from this. If I like your stuff, you like my stuff. If I follow you, you follow me. Rather, let's move it to another level. See, here's a book that was written in the 1930s. And this book is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is actually social media 2015. That you and I are what we post. And we're nothing else except what we post. And while I love social media, the problem with social media is there's no context behind our words. If you wake up in the morning and you have a rough start to the day, and then you go online and you rant hard about it, I can almost guarantee you guys that that's the day that your company will search for you online and make a decision about your social content. That's the day that your sports team will do the same thing. And that's the day that your college or university will do the same thing as well. Because what we post, we are our stories, and that's it. What we post, though, today hangs around like for years from now. The other thing I see a lot of people do, and I see professionals do this, I see business people do this, they start a Twitter account, and then they pop this in here. But what people do when they pop this in here, they use it almost for immunity. See, their view is, this is a free country. I have free speech. I can say anything that I want, and I'm not really my school, and I'm not really my team, and I'm not really the company that I work for. That is totally false. This is a completely false sense of comfort, because you are your school, you are your team, you are your family, and you are your organization. Whatever you're with, you represent them, and you represent their reputation and their integrity 24/7. It doesn't matter if you're working your way through your volunteer hours, if you're going for that first-time job, or if your goal is actually post-secondary. Fact of the world today is we all will be Googled. 6 years ago, I would have said this is maybe, possibly, you never know. Today, it's automatic. So here's what you want to do. Google your own name consistently, regularly. But everyone has, I hope, but here's how to do it better. Starting tonight, throw your name into Google. Before you hit enter, surround your name on either side with quotation marks, and then hit enter. And then go down about, 8, 9 pages in results. See, what you're going to bring back, like what Google will bring back to you that way, is actually your name as a search result rather than your first name here and your last name somewhere else. So you know that when the Googling of your name starts for your jobs, for your teams, co-op placements, whatever it is, they see what you see. And if there's anything negative there, or anything that you're embarrassed about, hopefully, number one, it never comes up in conversation, but if it does, you're prepared. The other thing that I would do, actually starting today, is I would use this tool here. This is called Google Alerts. Go to google.com or google.ca/alerts. First thing that I would do if I were you guys, I'd put my own name in here. See, then you submit an email to Google. And once a day, Google will bring back to you every single time that your name was mentioned anywhere on the internet in the last 24 hours. Whether your name came up in a blog, a sports story, someone's tweet, anything at all. This is one of the most powerful tools anywhere. Put your own name in there, submit an email. Once a day, you'll see every single time. Now, it might not be you, but it'll be your name. That's what you want to do. This is an extremely powerful tool. If you know where you're going to be post-secondary already, I would put the school in there as well. Then once a day, you're going to get an email on every single time that school was mentioned. It could be another sports team. It could be a future coach that you're really interested in. And then what do you have? You have information on a level that nobody else does. See, the students that I work with that are successful on social, they don't hide on the internet. They're not the ones that are running around with like 6 Instagram accounts, 5 Twitter accounts, 4 Facebooks, all for different reasons. Rather, when they post things online, they usually have 1 account in each platform, and they make sure their stuff's Googleable, but in all the right ways. They don't hide on the internet. They make sure that when competition is fierce, see, when there are more applicants than jobs this summer for summer jobs, when there are less scholarships than there are applicants for them, even though your paperwork is critical to still lead with, it's those students that develop a very robust and really diverse set of social profiles that will have an edge. I always say ignore the inside of this circle, social language. So imagine for a second that everyone in this room is going to go to Harvard. Here's what Harvard says. Here's what they say. Here's their homepage. They say, you can phone us for information, and you'll get what you want eventually. But if you want to know what's going on here right now, if you want to know our culture right now, if you want to know what happened at Harvard at like 8 this morning, you really need to hang out here. When people that are successful post online, here's what they say. How will this photo, how will this comment impact my character? How will this look on my honesty? How does this impact my integrity based on who I am? And finally, what about my values? Students always also do this that are successful. They listen more. They actually post less. Let me ask you guys a question. Does anyone know anyone here who abuses hashtags? Hashtag abuse? It's widespread. It's global. See, here's what a lot of people do. A lot of people, they'll start up a Twitter account and they just start yapping. Like they're tweeting and they're talking about their food, their coffee, the temperature, their pets, the walk to school, and nobody's listening. And so what you want to do, the students that gain influence, you see, what I told this student in Hamilton recently, I said, if you do these 5 things, your following will change. The people that follow you now, that are giving you absolutely zero value, they're going to unfollow you. Who's going to start to follow you are people of influence because you're engaging with them first. So students understand the social conversation that's going on, like they'll watch a Twitter stream go and they understand where it is, and then when they do jump in with a comment, it's relevant, and they add value, and they always work with respect, always. This is really easy to do. It takes discipline, but if you do this, you will have an awesome following of influence.